Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. It's time to take a look and compare the Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S8 Plus, Samsung's two latest flagships. Now, one of the big differences between them is the price. Now, the S8 Plus is going to run you about $100 more than the Galaxy S8. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at these two devices and see if the $100 is worth it for the Galaxy S8 Plus. Now, to begin, the main difference, of course, is that there is a size difference. Now, the display quality is the exact same. They use the same panels, 1440p display. However, the Galaxy S8 is a 5.8-inch display, and the S8 Plus has a 6.2-inch display. So here's the bottoms just about lined up, and you'll see it is a little bit taller, and of course it is bottom lefts line up wider as well. So height difference, width difference. When it comes to weight, the S8 Plus is just a tiny bit heavier. It really doesn't feel too much different in your hand. Flipping it over, taking a look at the back as well. So you'll see, of course, a bit of a size difference. And with that size difference comes two things I would like to talk about. First of all, that fingerprint scanner. And as you can see, at the bottom's just about lined up. The fingerprint scanner on the S8 Plus is a little bit higher. So when you do hold the device, you do have to reach up even more to reach that fingerprint scanner. Not only to unlock the device, if you'd like to activate that swipe down and swipe up on the notification with your fingerprint scanner, whereas on the S8, your pointer finger at least sits a little bit closer to that fingerprint scanner, so just a little bit less of a reach up to that fingerprint scanner, which makes it a little bit easier. Something also worth mentioning, on the left side, you'll see that Bixby button is actually a little bit higher up on the S8 Plus, and I find when I use the Galaxy S8 Plus, I accidentally press it a lot less. When I hold my device with my right hand, I find my middle finger rests more easily on that Bixby button on the Galaxy S8, whereas it will sit just slightly underneath it on the Galaxy S8 Plus. So I find when I pull it out of my pocket or just randomly go to lock my device, I don't accidentally press that Bixby button at the same time as the power button as I do on the Galaxy S8. When holding the two devices normally, of course, with the Galaxy S8 Plus being a little bit taller, you hold the phone a little bit lower than you would on the Galaxy S8, which makes it a little bit more top heavy, but not a deal breaker whatsoever, and it doesn't get in the way at all when you use the phone with one hand or two hands. Next up, in regards to these displays, I want to make note that the icon size is very similar on both of these at the moment. However, I have a different display setting. So if I jump into settings, go into display on both of them, you'll see my screen zoom is set to small on my Galaxy S8 Plus. However, it's set to the middle size on the Galaxy S8. So I find that bumping it down to small on the Galaxy S8 kind of makes it a little bit too small. You may like that, but it's definitely bumps it down just a little bit, tad bit too small for me. So it's nice on the Galaxy S8. You get a lot more settings and lists. Maybe if you're on a web page or something, it shows a lot more content, a lot more information. You can even just see by the settings menu. You see it goes all the way down to Google settings, where this goes to device maintenance. So you get 3-4 extra settings just in your list, just because, of course, the screen is taller, and also being able to set that smaller display setting to add more to your home screen or your settings screen, your web page, all that good stuff. And of course, with the larger display, if you do consume a lot of multimedia, it's a little bit nicer watching videos on the larger display or potentially playing games as well. So that's just an added benefit to having a larger display. Another big difference between these two devices is that the Galaxy S8 has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery and the S8 Plus has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery. So in theory, you would expect the Galaxy S8 Plus to have better battery life than the Galaxy S8, and that is actually true. So on the Galaxy S8, as I mentioned in my full review, I'll link to that below, I get a little bit over 4.5 hours screen on time average, whereas on the Galaxy S8, you'll see here I have 4 hours and 54 minutes screen on time, 5 hours and 2 minutes, and a very good day, 5 hours and 37 minutes. So I get a little over 5 hours screen on time consistently on the Galaxy S8 Plus. So about a 30-minute difference in screen on time between the two devices as I use it just from day-to-day use. So a decent amount, actually, which, although I do want to mention that 4.5 hours screen on time is still very good. It's definitely above average for me personally. And then, of course, 5 hours plus is also great as well. So you might not necessarily need that extra 30-minute screen on time because battery life in the S8 is still very good. And that's pretty much it in terms of differences between the two. In the past, both of them were not necessarily the dual curve. However, this time around they are. They both have the edge feature where you swipe over and you can go do some quick shortcuts, all that good stuff. So in terms of software, exactly the same. And finally, worth noting, the cameras are the exact same as well, so no difference there. And that's pretty much it. If you would like a full review on technically both of them because they're so similar, other than the differences I mentioned, I will post my full review down below. Now, overall, I would say that the Galaxy S8 Plus is not worth the extra $100 in my opinion. I do prefer the size of the Galaxy S8 in my hand. The S8 Plus is a little bit too large. However, the added benefit of battery life along with that extra screen real estate for watching videos, etc. is a nice added bonus. However, I don't think it's worth the extra $100. Possibly if it was bumped down to a $50 difference, it would be worth it to me. So with that being said, in my opinion, I don't think it's worth it. However, that's kind of up to you. Let me know what you think, if you would prefer the S8 or S8 Plus. Be sure to click that subscribe button. More videos coming soon. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.